I cannot. I want to start with college and work our way to the NFL, but we just can't do it. I have to start. I've got to start this Monday out talking about the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, a game that we were all excited to watch this past weekend. We thought it would be, just a shootout fest, fantasy points, overs as far as bets are concerned, and it was anything but that. If I told you all that the Dallas Cowboys would hold Patrick Mahomes to no touchdown passes, 19 points through 4 quarters, I think we would all think that Dallas wins that game. If I told you the Dallas defense was going to corral, Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes, 0 touchdown passes from Patrick Mahomes, I think we would all believe that the Cowboys would have had a great shot to win that game. But oh no, they did the complete opposite. And I think I've got to start at the top. The $75 million quarterback, that is what Dak Prescott is making this season, was dreadful. 28 for 43, 216 yards, 2 interceptions, and a fumble. Now listen, I understand that some bombshell of a news was dropped, what was that, late Friday, early Saturday, where Dallas Cowboys star receiver Amari Cooper was not going to be available for this game for the fact that he tested positive for COVID. He is unvaccinated, so he's going to have to miss like 10 games. So not only didn't we have Amari Cooper in this matchup, the Dallas Cowboys, they're not going to have him next week this coming Thursday versus the Las Vegas Raiders on Thanksgiving Day. But here's the thing. I am not going to blame this loss on the fact that we didn't have Amari Cooper, that we didn't have DeMarcus Lawrence and Randy Gregory, no Tyron Smith, but I think it really, I pride myself on being the most objective Cowboy fan there is. I really do. I pride myself on being very objective when it comes to the team that I love. And despite all the losses, despite not having both defensive ends, despite not having Amari Cooper, despite not having Tyron Smith, there was no excuse for the offensive performance that we saw yesterday on our television screens. I mean, when I say one of the most embarrassing offensive performances that I've seen from the Dallas Cowboys, and we talk about the loss versus Denver. That was a team loss. The offense didn't play well. Defense didn't play well. We were diced up by Teddy Bridgewater and company. This was hands down probably one of the worst offensive performances that Dallas could have showed up for. In a primetime spot, America's game of the week, that offense looked nothing like a team that should have had that slot. Offensively, they didn't even look like a playoff team. It was the worst offensive performance that I've seen in a long time, and a lot of that blame goes to Dak Prescott. And it started early in that game. The first series, I think it was the second or third play of the game, Dak Prescott has a wide open Michael Gallup down the right sideline. And, when they showed the replay, when they showed the end zone replay, it sort of looked like Michael Gallup lost it in the air. It was not a great throw, but Gallup beats his cornerback off the line of scrimmage, and then that was it. He lost the ball in the air, couldn't find it. We go 3 and out, and then it was just downhill from there. And at that moment, I was telling myself, I was like, this is not going to end well. And I see people in the comments saying I'm wrong for wearing this jersey. This is what it's resorted to for me. I've got to wear the Lakers jersey, barely beating the damn Detroit Pistons in the NBA. But Dak was terrible. We ran the ball 16 times for 82 yards, and I have been the biggest Ezekiel Elliott apologist there is. Believer, truther, whatever you want to say. He looks like he's running in mud. And Tony Pollard just looks more explosive. I don't think Tony Pollard is an every down, bell cow, carry it 20, 25 times a game type running back. But at this point, we don't even need that. We need somebody that's going to be able to pick up 6-7 yard runs. And right now, it doesn't look like Ezekiel Elliott is capable of doing that. My big question, and I ask you all, every time Dallas is without Tyron Smith, things go wrong. Every single time. And during the point in time when La'el Collins was suspended for 5 games, They had Terrence Steele playing on the right-hand side of the line, and at this point in time, right tackle. Tyron Smith was there at left tackle. My question is, why would you not keep Terrence Steele where he was at? When Terrence Steele was playing on the right side, he was doing a phenomenal job at right tackle. Wasn't giving up sacks. He got comfortable after 5 weeks starting in that position. Why not take one of your more experienced offensive linemen, take La'el Collins, slide him over to left tackle in replace of Tyron Smith, instead of putting a young guy who's not used to playing on the left? That left side is pure youth. Connor McGovern started at left guard yesterday. You put Terrence Steele on the left, and all that Kansas City was doing was putting Chris Jones and Frank Clark on the left side and getting after Dak Prescott's ass. Like, it blows my mind, the coaching philosophy of this team. Mike McCarthy at the helm. Dallas is not going to win with him at head coach. He's not going to win. They're not going to win with him at head coach. This was, outside of the defense, the offense shouldn't even been able to ride back on the plane. Again, you hold Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes was 23 for 37, 260, one interception. He was sacked 3 times. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he ran well, 12 carries, 63 yards, and a touchdown. But Kelsey and Hill, under 75 receiving yards individually. They each had 77. One had 77, one had 74, But that was it. That was it. No touchdowns. The longest reception from either of those two guys were 24 yards. Just watching it, y'all, as frustrating as can be. 9-19. I see everybody in the comments talking about it was just a brutal game to watch. It was a defensive slugfest. It was like Alabama, LSU in the national championship game about 10 years ago when no one can score a touchdown. We need help. Dallas desperately needs their cornerstone players back. And I know this is a hard distinction to make for those of us who participate in fantasy football, because we want to elevate and promote Ceedee Lamb to the wide receiver one in all of football. He's the best receiver that Dallas has. He's one of the best young receivers in the NFL, and that very well may be true. But you cannot understate the importance that Amari Cooper has on this offense. And when Amari Cooper's not in the lineup, it hurts everybody. It hurts Ceedee Lamb. We've got Noah Brown. He dropped 2 critical passes in the first quarter. One of them would have been a difficult catch to make, but you're a pro receiver. You got to make that catch. It was a little behind him. Dak was off all day. Cedric Wilson dropping passes left and right. When Amari Cooper's not in this lineup, no matter how many people want to discredit his worth and his value, it's a significant loss for Dallas, because you still have to account for him from the defensive side of the ball. You still have to devote a safety over top, put one of your better cornerbacks over there. All they did was hone in on Ceedee Lamb. The only other person, I'm just screaming, throw the ball to Dalton Schultz. Stop throwing to Noah Brown. Stop throwing to Cedric Wilson. Just feed Dalton Schultz. Ceedee Lamb goes out with a concussion. This is not good. This is not good. The Dallas Cowboys have to figure out ways to beat good teams. 2 of the 3 games since Dak Prescott has come back from his calf injury, he's looked bad. He looked great versus the Atlanta Falcons. He looked bad yesterday. He looked bad versus Denver. I don't know if he's still nursing that calf injury, and I don't want to give him that excuse that he's still nursing that calf injury. But the reality is 2 of the 3 games since he's come back from that injury, he has not looked good. The offense has been inept. And I truly believe, while fantasy football, we may love Ceedee Lamb and we may love what Tony Pollard can bring to the table, without Tyron Smith and without Amari Cooper, this offense will suffer significantly. And it just shows how great and how much teams have to game plan for a full array, for a full complement of Dallas pass catchers. This was a concerning loss by Dallas, and they need to get it together quick. Dak, 2 interceptions, was sacked 5 times, QBR of 10. 10 QBR. That's Sam Darnold level territory, and I'm not giving Dak that pass. I'm not giving him that pass. I didn't understand why, when Ceedee Lamb goes out with a concussion, why the hell is Tony Pollard not in at receiver? At this point, what do you have to lose? Noah Brown can't catch a cold. Cedric Wilson couldn't catch COVID if he tried. So you might as well throw Tony Pollard out there, get him the ball, and let him try to do something in space as probably your most dynamic offensive weapon. when Ceedee Lamb went down. It was just a mind-blowing offensive strategy by the Dallas Cowboys. Now, it was not all doom and gloom for Dallas, because I do want to give props to Micah Parsons, who has completely changed this defense. I'm watching the Chargers-Steelers last night, and I believe there was a quote on the broadcast last night that Rashawn Slater, the rookie left tackle from Northwestern, was graded as the best rookie offensive tackle in the past decade. Just completely, protecting Justin Herbert's blind side, doing a great job in the run game, great job in the passing game. And the Dallas Cowboys had a decision to make. When we were sitting there, I think pick 11 or pick 12, can't remember exactly which one it was, but Dallas had an opportunity to draft Rashawn Slater and instead opted for Micah Parsons. And I'm watching the game with my boy last night. I'm like, yo, would we have been better off with Rashawn Slater over Micah Parsons? And I think that's a very difficult question to ask, because Parsons has completely changed his defense. I continue to say, and I get a lot of backlash on this from people on Twitter, Micah Parsons should 100% be in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. That's right, not Defensive Rookie of the Year. That's in the bag. He's going to win that award unanimously, probably. But Defensive Player of the Year, what he's done to transform this defense is nothing short of remarkable. For this young man to have played linebacker, and if you watch his tape at Penn State, he didn't play in 2020 due to COVID. So you got to go back to 2019 when Micah Parsons was last on a collegiate field prior to his ascension to the NFL. He did he was a true linebacker. They dropped him in coverage a ton. He got to rush the passer a little bit, but he was a true linebacker, and coverage is not Micah Parsons' greatest strength. Getting after the quarterback, causing hell, wreaking havoc is what Micah Parsons does so well. And in this matchup, 4 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 quarterback hits, and a forced fumble. Once again, single-handedly kept Dallas in the game. Kansas City couldn't get anything going. And I tweeted out a video of it early in the game. I think it was the first series. Beautiful swim move around the right tackle. And I said Micah Parsons is going to get him one in this game. And he damn near had 3 of them. Get him one in this game. And he had damn near 3. Damn near 3 sacks in this one. Just an incredible player. So when we look back and say, should Dallas have drafted Rashawn Slater? I think either way, they would have been 2 phenomenal picks. But I think what Micah Parsons is doing for this defense is nothing short of incredible. He's already tied the rookie record for the Dallas Cowboys with sacks with DeMarcus Lawrence, and he's not a defensive end. He's a linebacker that is just so skilled. The play where he ran down Patrick Mahomes, I mean, you see it every time he plays. You just see how talented Micah Parsons is. One of the lone bright spots. I give the credit to the entire defense. The entire defense played phenomenal, right? Outside of Anthony Brown being spooked by Tyreek Hill a couple of times, and I don't blame him. He's so fast. Defense did their job to win this game, but offensively, Dak, 2 fumbles. He lost one of them, 2 interceptions, 5 sacks given up by the offensive line, 216 passing yards, 82 rushing yards. Is not going to get it done. His team's got a lot of work to do, and on a short week, the Raiders are reeling right now after taking a bad loss to Cincinnati, but they've got to get it together. They are 7-3 in the NFC right now, with Green Bay taking a commanding lead for that number 1 seed, at least looking like it. I know Arizona's still there, played well again without Kyler Murray. They're on bye this week, but Dallas has got to get it together. They've got to get it together in a hurry. Kansas City side of the ball, I don't know if there's a lot to take away from the Chiefs side of the ball. Clyde Edwards-Helaire looked good, and when you see 12 carries to Darrell Williams, 5 for 15, it looks like Clyde is back, cemented and supplanting that RB1 role in Kansas City. He's no Jonathan Taylor, which we'll get to in a second, but Clyde is back, and that's good for Kansas City. Definitely seemed to help their offense run a little bit better. He had 2 receptions, Darrell Williams 1 catch, so we could stop with the Darrell Williams hype. It's going to be the Clyde show as long as he's healthy. Mahomes, again, 260, under on everything, right? 23 for 37, QBR of 45.8, 1 interception, no touchdowns. Didn't really get anything going on the ground because of Micah Parsons. Mahomes was always good for 15-plus rushing yards. He had 11 in this one on 7 carries. So the big takeaway was Kansas City's defense. That defense is playing extremely well right now. Chris Jones was a man amongst boys. I think he had 3.5 sacks. Jaron Reed had half a sack. Chris Jones was just a terror. You know, the young player, Connor McGovern, that's a hell of a task to go up to. And Chris Jones is always better when they play him at D tackle opposed to D end. He and Frank Clark just absolutely decimated the Dallas left side of that offensive line. This is a bad loss for the Dallas Cowboys. I don't have a lot else to say about it. I see the comments going crazy. Micah, Defensive Player of the Year, should be locked. Ceedee, I don't think Ceedee's going to play. I think that the report was after concussions, it's 5-day protocol. It's 4 days to Thanksgiving. So right now, Dallas should be prepared to be without both top receivers, top offensive tackle, both defensive ends. They're not going to have those guys for Thanksgiving. I don't think it's going to happen.